to push. Much like what my doctor did with me today, asshole.
Oh, was your prostate exam or colonoscopy?
Neither, actually, but it felt like it the way he said some shit.
Well, what the
I may have
fuck?
taken it a little more personally than what I should, but
Did he embarrass you about what do you have hairy nipples? Lots of people have hairy nipples.
I mean, very. But the hairs are unusually long. I mean, unusual. Like I could braid them.
Well, you could totally like do that. There's got to be like call the Guinness people. There's got to be some record for like maybe not most elaborate nipple hair braid, but like longest nipple hair. That's got to be a thing, right? They're running out of shit. They've been running out of shit for decades. They'll do it. That's all I got. Wait, but anyway, yeah, it is. Omega is playing Warframe. Welcome everybody to Church of Chonkwij podcast. What am I? I'm Squit Harrington, joined by OmegaConstruct, Pun Lord Masami, and Squiddle John. Nice. Nice. And Omega, you're streaming Warframe. I wanted to ask you if you had looked any more into the one-shot Archon with Kuvanukor.
No, I haven't.
I am. Omega actually posted in the Chonkwij chat. You can still go see it. There's a brief clip that somebody shot from Reddit where they share their Kuvanukor loadout, and then they just cut to game footage. Kuvahek, sorry. Kuvahek loadout, and then they cut to their game footage and they one-shot the Archon. And Omega and I are like, well, okay. I am pissed off by videos like that because, great, there are like 70 other things in this game that are probably entering into that you didn't go over at all. There are shards in your Warframe. There are arcanes. There are schools. There are whatever arcanes are on your Warframe, possibly. There's what Warframe you're using. There's what skills are up. Some of this can be told through the HUD, but anyway.
Yeah, and I've got some
videos.
I've got some videos that I'm gonna buy some people to do really good build videos, so I'm sure I'll figure it out. Just might take some work, but hey.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
But that's if doable, that is a very sweet cheese. Because yes, the Archon battles are smacking of MMO boss battles where you just wail away on somebody for 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
So, we look for new cheese. The game always offers cheese. Of some brand.
Which kind is it today? Is it brie, cheddar? Some nice
Brie,
Swiss.
Roquefort, Pomme de Vec, Pulsevu, Savoia, Sempola, Caerenest.
Yeah, I probably should have posted this in the chat, but the other day
Tell the champagne. Sorry.
On the Warframe subreddit, I saw somebody who put together a graphic that they did based off data from a community poll about boss battles in the game, and it basically concluded it came to the same conclusions of stuff that you and I have talked about, which is that people like fights with mechanics to them, with phases to them, with actual things that you need to do to beat the boss rather than just pummel them with your most powerful weapons into oblivion because they only make new bosses that have damage reduction, damage mitigation, damage gating, insane HP pools, and insane armor. So, until they fix it, we're going to try to cheese it.
It's true. At present, I just slap E, and I hit 1 and 2 occasionally, and 3 whenever my shield goes down. Yeah, that's how it's working so far.
I mean, in a game that is ostensibly about a power fantasy, it is quite a shame that the way that they build their boss fights is to make your powerful things that you've put a lot of work into being powerful and make them feel weak. What's the fun in that?
The thing... Okay, I'll say that I enjoy, ironically, perhaps, I enjoy being Nezha and just wailing away in the Archon's face. Just slap, slap, slap. And every time my shield goes down, I pop shield back, and he does some damage, and I get, like, 263k shield, and I just sort of slap away at him again and again and again. I like the fact that, yeah, they took away all the damage of my weapons, but for what? He can't fucking kill me. I don't think I've ever gone down in phase 3 of an Archon hunt.
Does this mean that you just like getting like slapping things in the face?
Kinda. I mean, yeah, I think it's really funny that I might as well have a fish. If there was a skin for the Guandao Prime that was just a fish, I would use that, and I would just slap the Archon repeatedly with a fish.
Are you going to hit me with that fish? Sorry, Omega.
I go down in the Archon fights a lot because I try to go in with, like, I don't know, I try to do something not just like, what is my strongest Warframe, then won't die.
Oh, God.
I find that boring. I try to actually play the game, and DE makes it hard to have any joy doing that.
Oh, God, I miss Alan Rickman.
He was
as anatomically correct as a Ken doll, so...
It's actually kind of funny listening to people who worked on the Harry Potter movies talk about Alan Rickman, because his character was so dour and he was just so depressing and everything to watch. And whenever like the camera was off, he was a joy.
I have no doubt. I remember in an interview Kevin Smith saying that he gave Jason Mewes a warning about Alan Rickman being on the set for Dogma, and Jason Mewes proceeded to memorize not only his lines, but everybody's lines. He memorized the entire fucking script for the Dogma movie because he wanted to impress Alan Rickman.
I mean, yeah, do what you gotta do. That's one way to impress. Oh boy, alright. But... Oh, sweet, Omega. We're gonna let you evolve a weapon. Inodem. That's gonna be great. But while we watch you do that, let's see. The most flat out, or just straight up, flat out, the most important news that we have to talk about is obviously how Twitch streamer breaks her back in 2 places after TwitchCon foam pit incident. So of course we're referring to Adriana Chechnik. I
think it is.
That sounds right.
All that dick she took, and imagine that it took a fucking concrete floor to blow her back out.
No, it's actually
that
like,
you should mention that.
There's actually layers to this story that makes it pretty fucked up. Like,
yeah,
she's a retired porn star, well known, and she has actual medical problems with her neck and her back from porn.
She has pre-existing conditions.
I did not know that, and now I feel bad about my joke.
Yeah.
From getting railed.
From the absurd positions that she gets. Yeah, that's funny to say it that way, but it's more likely from the absurd positions that you see porn stars getting into.
Plowed like an Amish hayfield.
But I've never heard that one before. I'm going to steal that.
It's kind of crazy. Broke her back in 2 places, a metal rod inserted. Yeah. And if you actually look at it, there's like a jousting pit with 2 2 pedestals in it, and they give people their sticks or whatever, and let them fight it out. And she like just does a jump off into the ground or into the pit afterward. But the foam pit is like 1.5 feet deep on top of a concrete floor, and so she lands straight on her tail.
Yeah, and
So, yeah,
if you watch the video, like they're joking about it, going, "Oh, she's fine," and she's like, "No, really, I'm not fine."
Yeah, I'm playing the live stream. It got posted to Reddit under live stream fails. Obviously, it was not. After watching the video, like you say, Zero, the Twitch commentator, I think the official commentators for this event are trying to make light of this. Like, ha ha ha, no, she's fine. One of the commentators says, no, I think she actually lives in the pit now. So they're cracking jokes, and she, like, instantly, okay, the jump comes, boom, right down. She instantly looks like she's in fucking pain. She's trying to smile it off because she probably knows that, they're live. You don't want to.
That's trying
to put on a
exactly
brave face, but
I think
she's in fucking pain.
I think everybody criticizing the casters is pretty unfair. They look dumb, but like it's not like they
didn't have an immediate understanding of what was happening.
Yeah, nobody knew what was going on at the time. She didn't realize that she broke her back in 2 places.
Absolutely not, or she wouldn't have tried to sort of move and get out of the pit. I've never broken my back, but I have had a nerve injury, or we just call it that. At first it's like, oh fuck, all right, I need to get up and walk this off, and then you try to take a step and you're like, nope.
Yeah. Speaking from, I'm not going to say experience of breaking my back, but yeah, no, back injuries when I was wrestling, no, not fun.
That kind of shit, it's no fun. Anyway, she went to the hospital the day after. She posted on her social media account, I think Omega posted that one in chat, and said that she had 2 rods placed in her spine, and I'm glad that she's okay. I'm assuming that the metal rods are indicative of like a healing process, or that they think they can get her back to some sort of normalcy.
Yeah, I mean, there's a recovery process for this, but she's far from okay at the moment. She's, I have no doubt, going to have quite a lucrative lawsuit and settlement resulting from this.
Oh, absolutely.
What makes it funny to me, taking the injury out of this, is that this event happened at TwitchCon, and TwitchCon apparently built a foam pit that was not a pit. They didn't build a foam pit, they built a foam area which occupied a space of the floor.
Foam puddle?
A foam puddle, yeah, there you go. The other thing that it did not get as much attention is that there is already a girl. There is Adriana's defeated opponent already in the foam pit, and when Adriana jumps and hits the pit and some guy comes over there, you can hear the other girl on the floor saying, I hurt myself. So she got hurt when she got knocked off.
Yeah, apparently they both went to the hospital together.
Yeah, one of them, I think the other girl dislocated her knee.
Jesus.
Yeah, so, I mean, like, and they had no safety warnings or anything up on this pit.
I would, if I were either of their attorneys or their hired whatever, or their legal counsel, I'd be poring over anything that they signed before they did this event. I'm pretty sure, regardless, this falls under gross negligence, but whatever.
That's the thing. People think you sign like a waiver or something that it actually means you can't sue. It doesn't. It doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It's all highly indicative. of what your local state what your local state laws are, what your local regulations are, and even regardless of that, there are some things that are universal. One of them is gross negligence.
Actually, one thing that's kind of it's a recent article I saw earlier today is that she apparently called out Lenovo and Intel because they are the sponsors of the, foam pit or whatever. And that's just unfortunate for those companies because they had no part in doing any of this. They're just like, here, TwitchCon, we're giving you money as a sponsorship, put our name on something. And TwitchCon did the Lenovo and Intel foam jousting pit. Something stupid like that. This is definitely on Twitch's head.
But even despite that, the pit remained open. Okay, so others had been injured before Adriana and her opponent went on, and after they had been escorted to the hospital, the pit was open once again. Jesus Christ. But yeah, anyway, we're wishing her well because this was supposed to be fun. This was supposed to be a nice thing that people could watch. And it just turned into this. Mismanaged by Twitch.
Yeah, definitely wishing her well, but Twitch deserves to be all kinds of shit on.
Well, there were a lot of Twitch creators that said they weren't going to this to begin with, because after the announcement of Twitch cutting the profit sharing down,
going to the 50/50 model, yeah.
Yeah, they a bunch of them were just like, fuck them, we're not going to support them by going to their TwitchCon.
Which I think we covered. I mean, the 50/50 thing kicks in after, what, 100K per month? I don't want to dump on like stream. That is their livelihood. I understand that. And 50/50 is, man, remember when YouTube used to be 70/30? That must have been like 20 years ago. But yeah, 70/30 seems to be the norm across all platforms now. Anyway, we had this discussion. You can go look at it in the previous podcast, listen to it, whatever. It's the same thing. But yeah, this was the news. This was the big one. This is the big one, folks. Anybody have a favorite? Anybody have a favorite video that Adriana did?
Honestly, until this, I'd never heard of her.
Well, okay, that's fair enough. Omega brought this up. He just led with the name. Just Adriana Chechik says, or Adriana Chechik injured, and whatever thing. I was like, I know that name. Why do I know that name? Of course I do. The joke is that I love porn. Next.
I think we all knew that without.
We've discussed my legendary porn collection, and Zero foolishly asked me. Zero discovered that his router had speed limits enabled, and he disabled them and posted his speed test results, and we were all like, wow, that is very pretty. And then I told him I've got 2020, and he's like, Doc, upload your porn collection so I can see how fast I can download it. And Omega just beat me to the punch. It was just like, yeah, his upload speed's gonna be a cap there. Like, yeah, I will. I'll start uploading my porn collection now. I'll get back to you this time in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think I own online storage large enough for that, honestly.
It would be quicker for Doc to buy some high-capacity hard drives, copy it, and FedEx it to you.
Hell, it'd probably be quicker for him to send it via USPS.
Yeah, eSATA transfers at about between 112 and 170 megabytes per second. So yeah, I could clone drives pretty fucking fast. And no, anyone listening out there, I am not going to install internal drives and use my Yeah, that's insane. eSAT or USB 3, please. Let's see here. What else? Oh, Leetness is back from his vacation. Hi, Leetness.
High lateness in the future.
You gotta come play video games.
Where is the third? There it is.
The third hole.
Well, no. I know where the third hole is. That's easy.
Lucky.
Right behind the knee. No, that's the fourth hole. That's the fourth hole. I'm sorry.
I lost count there for a minute. All right, anyway. Let's see. Oh, something that we can maybe all appreciate a little bit. Watchmen creator Alan Moore says that adults loving superhero movies is infantile and can be a precursor to fascism. If nobody is familiar with Alan Moore's work, obviously he did Watchmen. I don't know. If you haven't seen Watchmen, I don't know what you're doing with your life. He's fucking brilliant. And he has written and illustrated some absolutely phenomenal graphic novels.
Some bangers, man. He does some good shit.
And Omega rightly pointed out just before the podcast something that I hadn't thought of before, which is that a lot of his literary themes are in line with the current storyline of The Boys. If you haven't seen The Boys, again, I don't know what you're doing with your life, but great dark superhero, anti-hero movie. I was called it a movie. It's a TV show, but it's an elongated movie. It's great. Go watch it.
So I found this on Reddit, and I was looking through the comments, and some people were making some really interesting points. One of which is that a lot of people don't understand The Watchmen. And The Watchmen is treated by people who like comics as like one of the hallmark works of the form that gets recommended to all kinds of new readers. The problem with that is that it's not designed for people who don't know the tropes. It's not designed for people who aren't already avid readers of comics. It expects you to come to the story with a knowledge of the art form, and then it expects you to interact with it in a way beyond just cool action scenes and enjoying the violence. And there's a lot of meta themes and commentary built into Watchmen about the genre itself that you won't know to look for if you're not someone who actually reads comics. So it was interesting to see that discussed, and you see parallels with that with people who like unironically like Boyd. And there are idiots out there who do, just like there were idiots out there who unironically didn't think the Colbert Report was a parody of a conservative. There's that kind of stupidity that can't see the commentary blasting them right in the face.
I haven't thought about the Colbert Report in years.
I will say, out of all of the comic books / graphic novels that I have enjoyed and loved growing up, I have to say that Alan Moore's work, whether it be Watchmen or some of his work with DC, I have enjoyed all of his work. And Watchmen, by far, as an adult, Watchmen is my favorite, by far my favorite of all of the graphic novels that he did.
So one of the things the article details, or it's quoted by Alan Moore himself, is that basically people in the 1980s when Watchmen came out and everything, there was already an established audience. There were people who had grown up reading comics, and so they had settled into early adulthood or adulthood, and they looked at the Watchmen as being like a grown-up comic, a comic that was made for adults. That isn't at all how Moore thought of it when he was creating it. He was more creating it for, again, a 12-year-old audience, but the level of the story, I guess, was sort of aimed at the emotional maturity of the generation, or the emotional circumstance of the generation, because 12-year-olds in the 1980s were living entirely different lives than 12-year-olds in the 1960s, or even the 1970s. So, yeah, this is part of his opinion. Again, Omega said he didn't really disagree with it. After reading this, I don't really disagree with it either. There's a lot of... You have to go into this, what Omega already said. You have to go into this knowing that, yeah, there are a lot of comic tropes in here. There are things that are built in for people who are very familiar with comic books, but it's not meant really to be adult entertainment, if that makes any sense. Like, there's stuff in there for adults. It's like watching Animaniacs, basically, as an adult. There's stuff thrown in there to make it not boring for adults, but the show is for kids. It's a weird comparison to make.
I mean, it is kind of interesting, the point that he's making. And what do you think about it? Like, he's outright saying that it is infantilizing for adults to be so in love with superhero movies, and that it makes people susceptible to fascism. And think about what a superhero movie is. It is somebody who is, through force and violence, imposing their morality that people seem to agree with. It is almost always done outside the established law. And, I mean, there's definitely an argument there.
Well, there is. I mean, perfect example of it is Captain America's Civil War. It's like there is a large bureaucracy at work. It is elected. They are representatives. They are trying to do something, and they are portrayed as villains. Basically, the government's the bad guy in Captain America's Civil War. And Captain America is obviously fuck yeah America, and he beats the ever-loving shit out of everybody, and teams up and becomes with Black Widow, becomes a renegade, and saves the world because of his distrust and lack of respect for authority. And it's totally justified in the story. The way it's written, it's completely justified. It's easy to get behind. But yeah, I see that. But I also, there's... I don't know. I want to say that, you know, it's you're reading into it too much, but there are an awful lot of adults that just go fucking batshit for this stuff. It's scary, actually, sometimes when you watch videos of premieres and there are all these hordes of adult comic book fans who are fucking cheering on this video. It's a... there's a word for it. When a crowd basically causes hysteria because it's a crowd.
A riot?
It can definitely lead to a riot, yeah.
Let's start a riot. A riot.
Oh, man. This was an interesting read. I appreciate this. And Alan Moore, obviously, he is crazy, but he's the kind of crazy that people need.
Well, I mean, yeah, if of all the people to be making this commentary, I think the fact that he's simply reiterating an opinion that he's held for a long time and who he is in the industry gives it a little bit more weight.
Yes, yeah, and that's another thing that should be noted. This is going back to... He's quoted in here as saying, quote, "I said around about 2011 that I thought it had serious and worrying implications for the future if millions of adults were queuing up to see Batman movies." And while I will say that I think the Christopher Nolan Batman movies are actually pretty well done. I do understand what he's saying. In the end, it's Batman. Batman is a vigilante. Batman doesn't work with the law. Batman tells the law what's good for it, and Commissioner Gordon is a bro. That's kind of that working relationship. Anyway, I'm not saying that any of the movies are bad. Obviously, they're box office success or smash hits in terms of the Marvel movies and in terms of the Christopher Nolan movies. I think they're well constructed, and that's totally different discussion. But Alan Moore is kind of right. Okay, superhero movies are cool. It's fine. It's great. They're colorful. They're meticulously constructed by a team of androids who I am convinced Disney has constructed specifically to create movies and make them money. It just makes sense. But yeah, maybe go out and watch Blade Runner a couple times. Maybe I don't know, anything that makes you think.
No,
Go and watch The Vitch. The VV-itch. It's The Witch, but it's spelled in Old English, so it's not a W. It's just two V's, which was a W at the time. Yeah. Anyway. Or go and see that new Clerks movie that Zero got promoted. Zero, did we talk about that? Did we talk about how you're a celebrity now on a podcast? Did we announce that to the world?
Who'd we lose?
Not me.
Did we lose someone? I see everybody still here.
Zero, did you drop and come back?
Zero, you're figuring out your sound situation. Zero is figuring out his sound situation. As soon as you're back, buddy, we're going to start talking about how you're a celebrity. Zero's YouTube famous. Or no, what, Twitter famous? Twitter famous. He has yet to buy me anything nice. Nice pumpkin head, by the way, Omega. I like it.
Celebrate the season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not often that Nabarus comes out.
Once a year.
Honestly, Navarus kind of actually made their Halloween event interesting. Not gonna lie. Granted, I was only there for a couple of them before that, but yeah.
I really appreciate
so far
it.
there's no event.
I appreciated the first time that they did it, though. They sold that. There was the one decoration that tells you the story. I really like that. That was neat. That's nice. There goes Zero.
Bye.
Wait, I gotta look on my screen. Nope, nothing. Okay.
Still not working, Zero? Can't hear you.
I'm back.
Oh,
there he's back. So, what's it like being Twitter famous, and why haven't you bought us anything?
Well, because with Twitter fame comes no money.
It's like the opposite of becoming famous.
It is. It is the absolute opposite of becoming famous.
Okay, but the idealized version of getting famous where everybody loves you and you get money. Instead, it's a more realistic version of getting famous this day and age where you make no funny and everybody shits all over you.
Yep, pretty much.
But we love you.
Sounds about right. Well, at least y'all do.
Yeah, anyway, Zero tweeted out nice things about Clerks 2, and they picked it up for an official promo.
Works free.
Whatever, I don't know. I
don't care.
Can someone here teach me how to read?
Yeah.
A is for Apple, B is for bonk, C is for
Cunt. Sorry.
I mean, he's not wrong.
I was gonna see which C word you chose, so you also got a little personality test there too.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, now everybody knows I'm a monster.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Too bad there's no room on the soundboard for me. Wait, what do I got here?
Maybe.
So that nice bug that I had the other night,
Yep.
that it would not let me complete the
I would put my
Veil
penis in it.
Breaker mission.
Mm-hmm.
Worked tonight perfectly. Did not
Good.
have a single issue.
Excellent.
So
Very cool.
Don't try to fucking tell me I'm wrong when I'm fucking right.
Oh my god.
Sorry, Linus.
not. Don't apologize.
That's not the one. The one that I was going for was...
I would put my penis in it.
Yep, there you go.
Because, yeah, I would. I'm glad that you were able to finish Veilbreaker.
Well, what had happened was, the brothers didn't spawn in when the ship crashed. That when you're flying through and you crash the ship, they didn't spawn in when I spawned in, and that was the problem.
Okay.
So
Is whatever it was is a weird ass bug, because Omega and I hadn't run across that personally or reading about it. But yes, you discovered a new bug in that quest, of which I think, I'm not sure if it was the crossplay update. By the way, Warframe has been updated for crossplay, and now Xbox peasants can try to compete alongside. Yeah. Yeah, it may have fucked some stuff up, because Omega and I have been noticing other small quirks throughout the game, such as trying to go to a relay together. Yeah, I can't go to a relay in a party. It's just not happening. Unless you have crossplay enabled across the board.
Yeah, even though when both of us had crossplay disabled, it said that our crossplay settings didn't match.
Yeah. So a lot of small things. Bugframe has returned. Bugframe is here in force, as is the custom, or has been the custom in the past, after a major update. Good to know that things are still moving predictably over at DE.
Yeah, some things just are the way they are, and DE having some pretty damned inconvenient errors on launch of updates is just, normal.
Par for the
We just
course.
have to hope that they fix them with some degree of urgency.
I'm sure they'll get right on that.
I mean,
Actually,
they're
they have
putting
been,
a lot of
they have
stock
been actually
into,
pretty good.
Well, they're putting a lot of stock into crossplay, so I'm sure that they're going to try to get it right.
They haven't even finished it yet. I don't think that the PS PlayStation players have been included in crossplay yet. I think that's another update.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's Switch. Really want to see how that nonsense works.
Well, the big question with Switch will be is, are they going to go top or bottom first?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. There you go.
I haven't done one of those in a while.
Yeah, no, it's great, actually, and I appreciate the activity in the pun hub. What the fuck is that Star Trek meme format?
I don't even know.
It's great. That's fantastic.
I'm not even responsible for that.
Omega, did you find that?
Yeah, that was me.
That was fucking great.
Yeah, I've never seen it before. It looks like it could be a classic, but I've never seen it, and I definitely got a good laugh out of it.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly endorse conversations between Worf and Jedzia Dax. It's a nice 4-panel meme format. We need more of those.
That actress was really, I think, when DS9 started to go downhill.
It was. They had the story for a 7th season. They were always planning on a 7th season, but she decided to just fuck off, and I think she wound up on a failed comedy sitcom.
No, Becker was a good show. I watched Becker as well.
Oh,
and I actually watched Becker
right.
when it was on, and I didn't know, I didn't watch DS9 until later. So, yeah, bummer. but she went on to take a supporting character role in a much smaller cast, basically. Probably better for her career, no doubt. And I don't blame the actress who came in to play Ezra Dax either. But the dynamics of the show were different. Like, Jadzia Dax was too good. It was such a great character.
It was a well-established character. Yeah, they spent a lot of time developing her and building her up and the whole thing. She and Worf, oddly enough, Worf not even intended to be a main cast member in DS9. Both of their characters got so much out of the couple seasons that they were together.
That's really what it was. And yeah, I will say her great attitude and sarcasm and wit that she brought to Worf did serve her well on Becker. I thought her character on that show was pretty great.
Did you ever watch the fourth Hellraiser movie?
Nope.
She was in that.
That's where I know her from.
Probably not the fourth Hellraiser movie.
Actually, I've seen all of the Hellraiser movies.
If it's Zero, that's probably is where he knows her from.
Yep. Yep.
Why did you even go past 2? I watched the first one, I was like, hey, neat idea. Watched the second one, I was like, okay, all right, I get it. Money.
Doc, I'm a masochist.
Friday the 13th again. Oh, so am I. I watched all 9 of the Hellraiser movies.
See?
Yeah, I did. Shit got weird around Hellraiser 7, and I was like, okay, I'm back in. This is rotten, but it's weird.
I love it when it gets weird. I love those, like Jason, what was it, Jason X? When it was Jason in space. That shit was fucking weird. But worth it.
Space.
I mean, there were points in that movie where I expected Muppets to walk the fuck out.
Masami, we all know that you know that Zero is a masochist. You worked with him closely on his character development in D&D. You know him. You know things about him that we can only guess at.
She learned that I am a kind-hearted individual who cares about everybody and wants to blow things up with Fireball.
I am also going to assume that the reason you picked Minotaur is because one of your wish fulfillments is to have a giant animal-like penis.
No. I'm perfectly okay with my acorn penis.
You're trying to beat the Doonies down with a horse cock. We all know it.
Actually, that's a bull.
I mean, I will definitely say that he is. Yeah, I did hear what Masami said.
Bullcock. Oh, yeah,
Bullcock.
right, sorry, yeah.
You got this audio. Clip that.
Closely related to bullshit.
Bullshit, bullcock, horse pucky.
They're somehow, strangely enough, occur in the same area.
Oh God!
There's bullcock and horse twaddle. Goodness me!
It's supposed to be an anatomy joke, but I'll take it.
All right. So speaking of anime, we have a story.
Anatomy, not anime. What the fuck?
I've been drinking. Mark Zuckerberg urged Meta staff to have virtual meetings when many of them didn't have VR headsets, the report says. This is not a joke. This is an actual article detailing how Zuckerberg, especially during the COVID pandemic, pressed teams at Meta to organize and attend virtual meetings in the Horizon app, specifically Horizon Workrooms, using VR goggles. Apparently somebody came out, the source, who remains anonymous, said that most employees either just flat out did not own a VR headset, so they scrambled to go and buy them, or had a headset and never actually got it out of the box. So Yeah, the very few employees that were actually using the VR headsets said okay, and then everybody else just scrambled to likely buy one. The kicker of this is that in August of, I think, 2021, Meta increased the price of the Quest 2 VR set by $100, from $299 to $399. So that's kind of a dick move when you're really encouraging your employees, basically requiring them to attend VR meetings using this hardware. And this is hilarious to me because nobody was using Horizon, so Mark Zuckerberg was like, all right, well, fuck it. I'm going to require my employees to use it.
Yeah, I think it's in there because, I mean, who doesn't love shitting on Zuckerberg and Facebook? But at the same time, VR is going to be a thing.
It will
and
be.
You know, we need
like the Stadia,
someone.
Streaming gaming will be a thing.
Yeah, hey, we
We're
need
not there
people to
yet.
try it, and I think it's hilarious at how much of a lizard person Mark Zuckerberg clearly is. But you know, I applaud him trying to push forward this technology. I mean, I hope Facebook fails, crashes, and burns, and you know, all that good clear.
Look at his lizard face. He's either a lizard or an android. I don't know which. I'm leaning towards android, but I wouldn't be surprised at either.
Why not both?
A lizard-built android?
An android-built lizard.
My god, he could destroy the universe. Anywho. Yeah, so Facebook basically required their employees to buy VR headsets so they could attend company meetings, and that's not a dick move at all. But the other funny thing about this is Meta's flagship Metaverse app is too buggy, and employees are barely using it, says the executive in charge. Yeah, so I love the fact that this was rolled out as, hey, we need more people to use this, and hey, we're going to require our employees to use it, and it's buggy as shit. That is not a bad thing when it comes to quality testing, because obviously you want to find bugs. You need to find the bugs so you know how to make the system better. But when you are combining company meetings with finding bugs, I see there may be problems there. That's my basic opinion on this whole article.
One could say that problems would be afoot.
Yep.
Well, if there's 2 feet involved, it'd be a pair of problems.
It's
And if the feet were wearing sneakers, then the problems would be sneaking around.
okay. All right. I'll run with it.
I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad. Running
Thank
is
you.
good.
At least Kosen appreciates my jokes. Thank you. I have no idea what he's doing.
He's talking to someone.
I'm just gonna pretend that he's reacting to my shit joke.
Oh, it ran away with me.
Nah. Or actually, you know what?
That's a 3-pointer.
There you go. Haven't hit that button in a while.
We might be on a cross-country sprint.
Not hitting buttons for a while or anything. Yeah, next week might be a special podcast. Who knows?
Ooh, is next week the week?
Next week might be the week. Yeah, I might at everyone in the channel and ask them to please set some time aside if they're able.
Excellent.
Yeah. Anyway, Meta's full of bugs. As is to be expected, There's nothing really unusual about that. I don't begrudge them for having bugs. They're ironing out a brand new VR world that I'm sure some people have an interest in. But yeah, mixing that with business. Also, I love how whatever Horizon news that gets posted in Cox or in Chonkwij, they always use the same thumbnail. And it's the original picture that was used to release Horizon with the discount Wii avatar of Mark Zuckerberg, the really generic 3D model of the Eiffel Tower, and what looks to be an afterthought that someone had when they were like, I'm going to try to make the Angkor Wat, and then just never quite did. I love this thumbnail.
Maybe they're trying to make the Angkor who.
Oh,
Or the
easy now.
Or the Angkor when.
Oh, God. Yeah. Knockoff versions of the Angkor Wat.
What?
I will laugh if you guys have been counting my puns.
I don't even acknowledge the existence of.
So it's always 0 for you. I got you.
Oh my God.
It's a state of being. I can appreciate that.
It's a survival instinct. It's like what people when someone is in an abusive relationship and they develop a survival instinct, that's basically what that is.
Omega has developed survival selective hearing.
Which is fine. I mean,
I thought that came standard with all men, or at least that's what my mother used to say.
oh yeah. Look, there comes a time in every person's week, month at the most, where they just need to smile and nod.
I work in corporate complaints for a property and casualty insurance company. I do that a lot more than I should.
There you go. See, you're ahead of the curve. You're the one who is bringing the average up.
I am the curve.
Crying out loud.
Yeah.
And in our last bit of real world news here, a big ol' fuck you again goes out to Vladimir Putin. A Russian missile reportedly hit Samsung's R&D center in Ukraine.
Ooh.
You fucking dicks. The fuck is this? The fuck was that? Yeah, so there was a missile barrage that struck, well, there were multiple missile barrages that struck multiple Ukrainian cities. One of the cities struck was Kiev, and in the, quote, in the wake of the barrage, there has reportedly been widespread damage to civilian areas, particularly in Kiev. And skipping along, Samsung facility is located in 101 Tower Office Center, where Samsung has their offices and an R&D center. And the building shows damage across several floors. So, yeah, this was something that Omega and I were having a morbid laugh at, I think, the other day, where the bridge from Crimea to Russia gets hit by an explosion, possibly from an aquatic drone, and Russia calls it Ukrainian terrorism. Hours later, Russia fires a whole bunch of missiles into civilian areas across Ukraine, and they call it a military response.
Yeah, Ukraine attacks a military target, Russia calls it terrorism. Russia attacks civilian targets and calls it military action. That's Putin in a nutshell. That's Russia.
So, yeah.
Fuck Russia.
Yeah, fuck Putin. Thankfully, back to the article. Thankfully, all Samsung employees reportedly evacuated before the rocket hit the building. So that's why, I'm making a little light of this because no one was injured in this particular explosion of a building. It's fucking ridiculous to say out loud. But yeah, Kiev was on top of the missile strike, and there were warning alarms that were sounded, and people did evacuate briskly. But yeah, what the hell? What come on. That's where our SSDs are indeed. We are gamers. We need the most important thing to come out of this is that our hard drives might be infected. Jesus Christ. So, anyway.
There was something that occurred, and I saw a video of it. Now I can't find the video, but a Russian missile strike on a bridge in Ukraine. You look at you see the bridge as the missiles are hitting, massive explosion, and then the camera stays on the bridge, and the debris and dust settles, and the bridge is still there. I was like, are you shitting me? They're that inept that they just missed a fucking an inanimate stationary object. Just whiffed it.
I mean, really, that's kind of their only defense in front of the UN at this point, isn't it? Because whenever a missile strikes a residential neighborhood, their argument is either, it was not a residential neighborhood, it was secret base of operation for, what is war about? Nazis, that's the one. Or they're like, yeah, our missiles, we can't exactly tell where they are going to fall. That's the two things that they got. The other reason why I said possibly from an aquatic drone, that's my own conspiracy theory. An aquatic drone, because is just a matter of engineering. Bridges are designed to support weight. They're designed to accommodate downward force and a certain amount of lateral force for wind shear, just swaying back and forth, whatever. They are not built to accommodate an upward force. That's not something that a bridge is usually ever designed to do. So if an explosion comes from beneath the bridge, it does significantly more damage than any explosion could do from on top of the bridge. But anyway, just something that I thought about.
Yeah, fuck them.
It's getting there. But yeah, that is the really off. This is sort of an off-topic podcast. We didn't really address any games directly. Just a lot of technology news.
There's really not a lot of gaming news. There hadn't been a lot the last couple of weeks.
Not a terrible lot? Yeah, no, not really. Excuse me, Zero, you got your wish though. Whatever football coach got got fired.
Thank God.
And his defense coordinator, right?
And the defensive coordinator also got let go. There is talk that Sean Payton may be the one who's going to be taking over Carolina, which would be good. I believe he's the current head coach of of New Orleans. So they would, of course, have to wait. Oh, no, he's a former coach. He's not even coaching right now. So, yeah. He said, I think it's Sean Payton's response to being asked, because he appeared on the Colin Cowherd show. I think it's attractive. It's almost a unicorn. The open job with a great QB waiting for you to come in and be the foster parent. Usually, generally speaking, it's somewhat broken. The team is fucking broken right now. So we
I
need
also heard
somebody
you
to.
guys are shopping around McCaffrey and someone else who are basically your best players on the team.
Yep, for better positions for future drafts is what I've heard too.
So yeah, Panthers in rebuild mode.
McCaffrey's been hurt a lot the last 2 seasons though.
Still the best guy on your team.
It's true. I mean, considering they just announced Baker Mayfield's QB rating, and he's got like the second lowest rating since the ratings came out in 2003.
Mm-hmm.
The only person who was behind or who was ahead of him for worst is I think it was Jamarcus Russell.
Jamarcus. All right, I will. Unless there is any more exciting football talk to be taking place.
No, I figure that's about as much as any of you guys care to hear.
I will close out this podcast with another article that you posted in chat, Omega. Probably not something, to be discussed on podcast, but I thought it's worth the shout out here. Is Bill Shatner has written an editorial available on Variety titled "William Shatner: My Trip to Space Filled Me with Overwhelming Sadness."
Yeah, it's an excerpt from his latest book.
His new book called "Boldly Go: Reflections on a Life of Awe and Wonder."
It's kind of sad read. And then I attached a video of it that makes you realize that that gives you all the more reason you could possibly need to absolutely hate Jeff Bezos.
So I will. I'm not going to play the video because even though I think that I can get away with showing Adriana Chechik break her tailbone in a Twitch fail video, I don't think that I can play the r/watch people die inside video of William Shatner trying to share his thoughts and feelings with Jeff Bezos without somebody getting pissed off. But I encourage everybody to watch the video of William Shatner trying to share his thoughts with Jeff Bezos after the what the hell was it called?
We give a rundown.
Shuttle?
He went on Blue Origin and up into space. And SpaceX fans will be very quick to remind you that they didn't go into orbit, just in space. And Shatner, who is now the oldest man in history to go to space. Congratulations, Bill Shatner.
Way to go, Captain Kirk.
That's quite a friggin' honor. And Shatner is there trying to... not trying. He is making a pretty heartfelt point about the experience to Bezos, and then Bezos fucking interrupts him as people start passing around champagne and starts like doing like champagne fountains and screaming and cheering, and just totally turns his back on Bill and ignores everything he was saying. Offers Bill a drink of champagne. Don't know if you guys are aware, but Bill Shatner is a recovering alcoholic. In fact, his wife died, drowned in their pool, passed out drunk one day. And yeah, Bezos offered him a drink of champagne. So it's pretty fucking awful. And Jeff Bezos is scum. And everybody should read William Shatner's the excerpt in Variety and fucking go buy his book.
I will, I have in the past said, and I will maintain that Bill Shatner is a windbag, but that does not mean that he doesn't have interesting things to say. And yeah, reading through this, it's even just the excerpt in the Vanity article is worth a read, but yeah, grab the book if you can.
Yeah, I feel like Shatner's a windbag when he talks about anything other than shit that, in my opinion, he should be talking about. So yeah, I don't give a shit about his thoughts on, politics or policy or any of that kind of shit.
Just like I don't give a shit about what Patrick Stewart has to say about politics or worldly events or anything like that. Unfortunately, a lot of other people do, and a lot of other people have a lot of money, and they let him make his own show. But yeah, the video was what turned me around on this, and what made me read the whole thing to the end, because the video of Shatner trying to talk to Bezos is fucking unreal.
Yeah, it's pretty shocking.
It's not as if Shatner was just like, oh, okay, you congratulations, you want to, go do your champagne shit. No, he was trying to have a human connection for a moment there. And Bezos is just like, I think Bezos wasn't interested in listening to Shatner talk because Bezos wanted the PR picture. He wanted, like, the photo op. He didn't want to talk to an old man. That is so fucking depressing.
It's even worse than that, I think. And this might be doing too much psychoanalyzing through video, but
yeah,
Jeff
I don't
Bezos wants to be. He's the billionaire playboy, and he's like, I don't want to listen to this fucking old man wax poetic when I could be popping champagne bottles with these 3 hot bitches that I filled with plastic surgery and who suck my dick every night. Like, that's what he's fucking wants. He wants to sit there and pop champagne bottles and spray them all over, the girl's fake tits in a white sweater stand. Fucking, it's ridiculous. He's cartoonish in the type of billionaire he's become.
Yo, ladies, I just went to space. Now it's time to fuck.
Yeah,
see, when you say it with that voice alteration, the only thing that I expect to hear afterwards is
yeah, all right. Anyway, yeah, that's about it. That was a good podcast. Now we can, excuse me, now we can progress to the after show where we talk about how we have been awake for way too long today. And we should go to bed, but but we're probably not gonna.
Or how about we got body glitter in the mail and we had to try it out because, yes.
How does Kosen look?
Sparkly.
God damn. All right,
like
get some glitter on
like
his
a
feet and send
vampire
the
from
pics.
Twilight.
Oh shit, Zero, I'm sorry I stepped on that. That was a good joke. I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't even know what I was saying now.
Like a vampire from Twilight.
Oh, yep, nope, there it is.
Oh, sparkly. And making a face that looks like
like he's both constipated and has diarrhea at the same time.
yeah, he's trying to poop vomit.
you know, constaria. We've all had it.
That's right. Some more considerate local restaurants realize that you don't have a lot of time to sit down and eat a meal and then take care of what happens afterwards. That is why they design their food specifically to make you throw up out of your butt. I can't remember where I heard that first. That's not original, though. Anyway. Yep. Bye, everybody.
This.
The fuck? Do you feel your Warframe respects the time you invest in the game? They give you a survey? We're gonna fucking fill out a survey with you. This is the end of the podcast. Bye, everybody.
Fuck Putin.
Yeah, fuck Putin and Winnie the Pooh. Penis. Now let's do this motherfucking survey.
Respect time I invest in the game.
I mean, that's a broad question. Like, respect your time with regards to an Archon hunt? No. Respect your time with regards to grinding Steel Path survival fissures? Fuck yes.
I mean, I wouldn't have put so many hours in it if I didn't feel like it was worth it. So generally, I think is that it? That's it.
Huh.
One singular question.
All right. Interesting question.